Ryan, and we've been doing Beer of the Week for about, 12 years now. First time we've had a former Oiler who's launched a beer on the show. So let's dive into that. Tyson Barrie is obviously moved into the media now as well, but also a beer mogul. And we're going to dive into that. Tyson, good morning. How you doing, buddy?
Morning. Thanks for having me, gentlemen.
Yeah, well, so we launched a beer a couple of years ago, and we've kind of been through the process of like the rush of launching it and trying it and tasting it and finding the right one. So let's just start there, man. What was that like for you? Where'd the concept come from? Had you been thinking of it for a while? And what's the last year been like for you?
Yeah, it was definitely something that happened like super organically. We obviously, as a hockey community, we've got a reputation for drinking a lot of beers. Yeah. And I can confirm that does happen. And we always called beers chili ones. So I just, probably had far too many one night, put it in my notes. I'd love to do a beer with my hockey friends called chili ones. Serendipitously, I was approached about doing a beverage, and that was kind of the origin story. And I called a bunch of my hockey pals and said, guys, am I nuts or should I do this? And they were all an astounding absolutely. And here we are. So it kind of happened quickly. And the idea just being kind of like a night before the game beer where you could have, you could still have the long dinner and the laughs and the conversation, but not wake up with like a wicked hangover. So hence a little bit lighter on the ABV, but it's been so much fun. And it's cool. I think there's 18 kind of former current NHL guys involved. So it's kind of cool to, now that I've retired, I get to, keep the boys in the loop on the beer company and occasionally get together and still get to sink a few. So it's been a lot of fun.
Captain, and as you mentioned, a great team that you've put together. All the drinks we've had on over the years, some of them relate to a cause, but the charity angle is a big part of what you're doing here, is it not? Yeah,
exactly. I think myself, and then I think a lot of our investors too would say the same thing. We've been super fortunate to be able to play a game we love for a living and make a career out of it. And, I'm pretty passionate about giving back to, maybe kids who aren't quite as fortunate. So that's a big piece of our brand and giving back and supporting local kids and communities get access to sport.
All right, so it's 3% you mentioned, but that's so you can crush a few of them and feel pretty good the next day. Trev, come grab one. I poured them for you too, buddy. What's the journey been like? Like how heavily involved in this are you guys? Like how much of this time does it take up?
Every day, heavily involved. Man, it's been a journey as well. It's more than I think I knew I was getting into. The startup life it's a grind. So. But man, it's been so fun. We've got a great team. We've, kind of put around it some really great friends, and there's lots of wins to celebrate, and then lots of disappointments. So it's a bit of a roller coaster, but like anything in life, it's if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. So we're having a good time while we go, and it's work though, I'll tell you.
All right, let's cheers to trying something new, right?
Absolutely,
we've gone through it ourselves, and it's awesome. So. Oh, that's delicious. That's delicious,
it's pretty
actually.
Easy. Yeah.
You could drink a bunch of these.
Crushable, yeah.
They come in the 6-packs, and then you got the non-alcoholic ones, the point 3s. Those ones, we'll try those too. They come in the 4-pack, at least the ones that we got as well, man. So when we launched our beer here, I remember we were streaming live and we were watching an Oilers game, and we'd done like some taste testing, but we hadn't like cracked a can yet. And when we cracked it, I thought to myself right before we drank, I said, man, this beer better be awesome because we're going to push it no matter what. And then we had it, and it tasted delicious. So I'm like, okay, good. Now we can really, sell the hell out of it. So what was it like the first time cracking like a beer that you were a big part of and that you own? And that must have been a pretty cool experience.
Yeah, I think we have it on video. I was with Ryan McDonough, Ryan O'Reilly, some other friends. We were playing against the Canucks, and we went to the brewery on the day before and toured it and tried the beers, and it was good. Yeah, it was good. And it takes some tweaking, and even now we're still playing with a couple things, and we're brewing in Alberta now, so the water's different, so you got to get all the water hardness and everything dialed in.
Man, listen to you, hey, like you're right into this stuff.
There's more that goes into pinting than you think. But yeah, it was super fun. I mean, the journey's been a blast. It's been probably 2.5 years now, and so many fun moments throughout Chili One's short lifespan. So looking forward to a lot more. But yeah, we have a couple more probably innovations that will come down the pipeline.
I was going to say, you must have something else coming too, right? Like,
yeah, you're always scheming up. So we'll see what's up our sleeve. But it's always fun getting new products and trying new stuff.
You hatched the idea, obviously, and you're leading the team. How far or how deep have you smocked up and gone into the back and really started messing around? Like, this must be interesting. You're probably learning a lot as well in terms of, you mentioned the water, all those things that, a regular guy on the street doesn't know about. So how deep have you kind of gotten in, and what's the learning process for you been like in having to launch this and create it?
Yeah, I would say, the knowledge comes slowly, but it kind of creeps up on you. I'll be in meetings and conversations now where I'm sort of speaking beverage language, and I'm, almost surprised myself. But I think that's just the nature of, kind of diving into something and learning on the fly. Luckily, I've, kind of surrounded by people who know the business the business and the beverage space better than I do. But I'm picking up what I can, but yeah, I like to get in the weeds and try to participate in all of the meetings that I can, and be boots on the ground at the breweries and get my hands on the products. They send me all the new cans out I live in Vancouver Island, so I'm getting deliveries of new recipes and batches and stuff all the time. So that's kind of fun. It just shows up on your doorstep.
Yeah.
Then it's work.
Perfect. That. You know what that is, man? That's living the dream. Like, I know playing in the NHL is one thing. But having beer just show up on your doorstep.
Vancouver Island.
And you're living in both my sisters live in Victoria. It's beautiful out there. Like so that's good. This non-alcoholic one, I just poured myself a quick. This is pretty tasty too. How hard did you guys work on this one? And how important is it to offer something like this when you're launching a brand?
Yeah, I think it's really important. I think if you look, kind of at the way that it seems to be trending, people are drinking less and kind of going for that more health and wellness play. And, we wanted to be able to offer something. I think both of our SKUs kind of fit that program. But, I think the non-alcoholic really turned out well. It's I'm not a huge non-alcoholic guy, but I'll get into a few when I'm in the pool with my kids or something. And it definitely does the job.
All right. A couple other things you got on the go. I mean, you've transitioned into, I think, what maybe some players would say is the dark side over the last little while, getting into the media side of it. Is that something during your career, man, that you were thinking, that could be a path for me after? And does it help with not playing the game anymore, kind of still give you that feel and fire that you're around the league? How much have you been enjoying that?
Yeah, I'm not sure about the fire. I don't show up to the broadcast all hyped up, but no, it's been really fun. It was, to answer your question, it was something I thought maybe I would, dip my toe into when I finished. And it felt like a good way to stay around the game without, you kind of dealing with the pressures that come with it. And it's fun. I get to come over to Vancouver and, I get to catch a lot of the visiting teams come through town and go for dinners. And I still get that kind of scratch the itch of getting to see your buddies and being on the road a little bit. It's been a learning experience too, though. I thought I was just going to be like some pro off the street, and you get the bright lights on and you're doing the broadcast. It's a little more nerve-wracking than I anticipated.
Yeah, once you get used to it, though, I mean, it'd be second nature for you. So yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You'll be Gene Principe before you know it, man. You don't have to worry about that. It'll be
dream.
You'll be making all those puns and stuff in Vancouver. It'd be a good time.
Yeah.
Hey, we're not gonna get in. We'll let you go in a second. We're not gonna we're not super hockey hardos. We're not gonna dive into a lot of that stuff. But I am curious because the Oilers power play's awesome again this year. You were on that power play that ended up being the best power play of all time. I think you played 61 games that year for the team. And they ended up being 32.6 or something like that. What was it like manning the points on that unit? Because I look at it and go, wow, it's got to be easy. You're out there with McDavid, but also, I mean, you're out there with McDavid and Draisaitl. You got to think on their level and you got to play on their level. I'm curious what that was like running the best power play in NHL history that we saw.
Yeah, man, it was a lot of fun. I think obviously the personnel on there. To your point, certain times it was really easy. We all had our roles. It was a lot of fun. Getting into the zone and entering that easy was, skate it up, drop it to Davo, and he dances through and dumps it to Nuge. And yeah, we all had our roles, and for me it was just getting it to these guys on time, right where they want it, whether it's a one-timer, whether Davo's coming downhill with speed. You're trying to put it right in their wheelhouse and make it easy for them to make their next play, and then obviously shoot a few when you get the chance, and they've got them scrambling. So yeah, man, looking back, that was so much fun coming over the boards every time there was a penalty. It just felt like we knew we were going to score. So it was a cool feeling, and obviously they haven't slowed down much since I left. So I'd like to pretend I was the mastermind, but
I didn't want to bring that up. But I mean, yeah. I think McDavid and Draisaitl and Nuge drive a lot of that stuff.
I know I got traded. I thought the whole thing was going to fall apart.
I remember when you got down there, people writing articles and being like, "This power play will never be as good as it was," because and this year's power play, I mean, they rely on it heavily, but it's been pretty good so far. Again, man, this has been great catching up with you. Congratulations on all the success with Chili One so far, and best of luck in the future. And I'm sure 5 years from now you have like 7 different products. So maybe we'll chat with you again. And hang in there in the media too, man. It'll be a lot of fun for you.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Appreciate you cracking a few Chili Ones before 8 a.m. here. That's dedication.
Oh, yeah, no, we drink every Friday for a dozen years.
Just Fridays.
Yeah, it's a decent little buzz before the shows, or right before the end of the show. So it's okay. Yeah, good stuff.
Right,
Okay, we'll talk to you later. There you go. That is Tyson Barrie, longtime National Hockey Leaguer, and now diving into the alcoholic beverage game and the non. Actually, you should try one of these. This non-alcoholic one.
Not easy to make a good non-elk, and that's
look at the pour on that. It's
appreciate
like more
it.
golden than the regular one. It's tasty. Yeah, it's really good.